Okay, hello, good morning. Yesterday we were struggling a lot with TypeScript, and we're going to continue that struggle today. By the way, I didn't feel quite well yesterday. Actually, I had to go down on a couch and just lie there for the rest of the day. I was like super dizzy, and I don't know what's happening. I have this thing every summer where it feels like I have the flu, but I don't have a fever or anything. So maybe it's some allergies or something, but I don't have a running nose. It's just like super confusing. And it's the most annoying thing when you don't feel like normal. uh, but you're not sick either. You're kind of in between and you can't focus and you're low on energy, and it's super, super annoying. Anyways, I think I got my last power hub thingy. So if the camera doesn't freeze during this session, it means that we are good to go with the new setup, which is super awesome. So I'm not sure how I'm feeling today. We're going to go through this and see how it goes. And what we're going to do is basically try to figure out this typing issue. I played around with it a little bit, so I think I understand better now what is actually happening. But I don't know if it's possible to solve it. So basically we're just going to riff here for 30 minutes and see if something pops up. And if not, maybe I don't know. Let's see what happens. So the typing issue is related to this matches API. And the way this typing works is that, and let's see, I'm just writing here in a test. So the point is, if I point to overmind.state, you see that it says that it's either let's look at the typing first. So I have this example where we have a foo state and a bar state. When we're in the foo state, the foo is a string, and when we're in bar, the foo is a number. So when I just look at the state, it says that it can either be in foo or bar, or it can be a string or a number, which is what we want. But if I now say, if the state matches foo, now it says that the state is foo, and the foo is a string. It can't be a number because we have checked that we're in the foo state. And the way this works is that I stole this. Okay, let's go through it first. So we have a matches thing. We have a generic, which means that whatever we pass in here, for example, foo, that becomes t. It just ensures that whatever you pass in here is one of the states, so either foo or bar. But when it's passed in, the t becomes the state you passed in this case, foo. And then there's this weird syntax, and I stole this from xstate. I've never seen this syntax before, like the this is syntax, and I can't find any documentation on it. But like you can kind of understand what it does. Basically, it retypes the object that you call matches on to this new typing. So if I were to say, I don't know if this even works, but I can say this is string, and then I would guess that overmind.state would become like a string. Yeah, you see here? Now you get all the string methods. So you basically just this, which is the object you call matches on, becomes this type. And what we're doing is that we're checking, I'm not sure why we are doing this. I'm actually not sure, because it should be enough to do this, I think. Because this state machine takes... Oh, wait a minute. Is this right? So the first one is all the states, and then it's the specific state. So it should rather be... That's weird. It should rather be like this. But that doesn't work. So, state machine. Oh, it's states. Oh, sorry. Yeah. yeah, I wonder how did I type this? So we're passing in all the states, but then we're also passing in, okay, the specific state. Okay, so I think I know why we're doing this. Basically what we're doing is we're checking if the states is extending. It's a trick to kind of make TypeScript understand that if states extends the specific state we're passing in, that tells TypeScript that, okay, now states is of type state T. Like, this is crazy complex stuff, but basically we're telling TypeScript that this states now, which actually by default holds all the states, and now only holds this single state because we're checking if it extends it. And if it doesn't do that, we say never. So that works, right? Foo is string, state is foo. But if we were to do this now, if we were to do this, we get an issue. So now foo is, I thought that was supposed to become never. Oh, sorry. So when we change that to bar, the foo becomes never and the state becomes never. So it basically hits this one. And the reason it does that is because we're saying that state extends this bar thing, but then it's false. For some reason that becomes false. And that might be because we are passing in states here, which now becomes which now becomes the, like, this becomes the current state of the object, which is current now typed to the foo. So when we say, does it extend bar? It says, no, it doesn't extend bar because now it only extends foo. But when we don't have an if there, it extends both of them. That's basically the thing. So I'm not sure, like, how would we, so what we could do here is that if it does not extend that, then we could say like, okay, but then do states or state T, for example. I don't know, something like that. But like that kind of works because now we get string or number because we are in foo. Well, it doesn't do exactly what we want because we really want this to be a number now. So it's kind of like I just want to force the state. I have no idea how to do this. So maybe we should, it depends what we're going to explore here. Oops, sorry. If we're going to explore forcing, like changing this part, or are we going to try to change this part? I think it would make sense to change this part. Maybe we could use this T in a different way. So instead of saying states extend state, we could kind of say that yeah, I just wonder why this why is this now typed to the other version of this? Or is it because we're using this is? So this already is a state machine of type foo. And then we're trying to say now this is a state machine of type bar. And then TypeScript kind of, nope, it's of type foo, so that doesn't work. But it shouldn't, like, in my mind, that it should just say to TypeScript that this is now this thing. But I have a feeling, yeah, I have no idea. But yeah, okay, let's see if we can make this work. So if I do this, that, oops. So if I just do this, that doesn't really make sense, because now I'm only giving it like this, only the state, while I want to give it yeah, even now it becomes never. Okay, but maybe this leads to something. So now it's foo and string. Yeah, so I should be able to write it. I don't need that extends thing. It seems to work fine without it. But it still, of course, doesn't work. Because now foo is still a string. So this should have worked. If this is going to work, this should have worked, because I'm basically now saying that now this is a state machine of states, and this is the state. Maybe we could like create a simpler example of this, where we don't have this, because it might, something might happen inside here. Maybe we should try to go to the TypeScript thingy, playground. Yeah, so this is kind of what I do when I play around with TypeScript. Or generally try to figure out stuff I don't understand. I kind of try to simplify the example as much as possible. So we have some kind of type here, which we can still use state. So it's either foo or it's bar. And then foo is a string or foo is a number. And then we have to kind of create some API here, which is going to, how are we going to do this? I guess we can create an interface machine, and let's just do like matches. T extends, I can do state, test state. Why is this complaining? Oh, return annotation. Okay, it was just complaining about that. Okay, so what we want to return here is, okay, so or state. So we want to return, for example, the okay, machine. Okay, let's just use test. Sorry, I'm messing around here now. Okay, so T extends state T. Can't I do this? Okay, so let's try this first. So, okay, now we need like a machine, machine matches return as any. Okay, so I'm just basically mocking the API now. So if I say machine matches, yeah, you see I have foo and bar there, and it says it can return a string or a number. But if I do this, it becomes never. Okay, so this is interesting. So this doesn't really work. So if I say test extends state T, which it does, or like clearly it doesn't, but it does. Then I kind of want to return. Then it should, like, the way I think TypeScript interprets this is that when I do this, it looks at test as only this part, and then it should be able to return this as a string. But that's it, as you see. Now foo becomes never because it hits here instead. So if I wanted to figure out what is foo related to this state, I would have to say that what would I have to say? What if I don't? I find this really weird. Extends. If I do string, what is it? What the hell? Now it says type any is not assignable to never. And now it says this is never, but now I get string or number here. This is very confusing to me. It's extremely confusing. There must be a different way to handle this. To make it understand that I'm only interested in the part of the typing that's related to the state I'm passing in here. And this is the way I do that. Test extends. Now I'm interested in why does it say never? Okay, I could like, so what if I say test state oh, I'm just why does it say it doesn't extend that? It does extend that. State extends T because T extends state. I don't understand this. It makes no sense. Omit the state property. In the type. Omit it where? Omit it here, but it doesn't hit. Yeah, but where? Here or like, I guess I can't do it here because it never hits that thing. You mean do it like here? But then I can't extend the state because it's omitted, or oh, why? And this is the, like, if I can't understand why this doesn't work, there's no way we're going to solve the other one. And this makes absolutely no sense to me. Why doesn't this work? Foo never. Oh, God damn it, TypeScript. I hate you. I hate you. Oh. I love you and I hate you. I don't have any good ideas on, like, typically when I try to figure this stuff up, I just throw different stuff and suddenly yeah, but I don't understand, Fabrice, where exactly you want the omit to be inserted. Do you want it to be inserted here? But then I can't extend it because then I've omitted the state. And if I insert it here, it won't hit it because it hits never. So I'm not quite sure where I'm supposed to put it. Yeah, I have a feeling it's not possible to model as well. But like this should work. Like, why doesn't this work? This is such a straightforward example. Of course it extends this. So if I put like string, like why does it say never? That makes no sense. What if I do like t extends string? It still says never. Like, it makes absolutely no sense. Now it says string. So what is it about t that makes it not hit this thing? Like, t is a string, but now it doesn't work. It makes no sense. God damn it, TypeScript. Do you know why this doesn't work, Fabrice? If I change this to a string, it works. But t extends string, and then I use t, and then it's never. It makes no sense. Is it because it... Oh, is it because it's like a specific string? So for some reason, it infers this as a foo or something, like a more specific type. But foo is in the... Okay, so it's because I have... So if I were to remove this, then it would work. Yeah, okay. Okay, now it's getting more obvious. So doing extends of a union doesn't hit one of them. It needs to kind of fit in with all of them. But why the hell does it even... Did it even work partially then? Huh. But what if I do like... it should fit that one and test. That also works. So you have foo and state. So what if I say, okay, so the machine is partly that thing, it's partly test and can I, oh, sorry. Okay, let's make it a type instead. So it equals test, and then we have an error because it doesn't, and the state is foo. Oops. And then foo needs to be hey. This is oh, why can't I do the this is? Oh, it's only possible on an interface. The machine. This is interesting. This is can I do something like that? Okay, let's oh, sorry. This is why is this a boolean? This is isn't that how we wrote it? This is this isn't a why is it boolean? I don't have any booleans anywhere. What the fudge? Why does it say boolean? There's something I'm doing wrong here. Matches. This is blah blah blah. This is blah blah blah. Why the fuck do you say boolean? God damn it. TypeScript. Oh, sorry. It has to be, I have to do this, I guess. When we say you do that this thingy. Okay, so foo is string, which is what I want. What if I do machine matches bar now? It probably breaks again. Yeah, now it completely broke. Yeah, we get the same issue. God damn it. God damn it. Yeah, I guess it just won't work. I just have to try everything, or at least I have to understand why it won't work. It's I see what you're writing, Fabrice, but it doesn't compute in my brain. It's not clear to me. Because my brain, like, that's the problem. It's like we're humans, and when we look at this, it makes perfect sense that it should just work, but the computer looks at this quite differently. But yeah, like this code just looks like more straightforward to me in terms of kind of expressing what we want. Yeah, this is state bar, foo number. kind of interesting. What I also thought about was like, yeah, even if we, no, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, so when we actually type it, and that's the shitty thing. Is like if I were to do like for each here, and then do the if inside there, like it's still synchronous, but for types, oh, I guess it doesn't work with this one. It's still never. Oh, would it be never? It wouldn't be never with bar here, would it? Oh, that's interesting. So this would still be, oh, that's interesting. Huh. Let's see, make bar. Bar. Make bar. Huh, is it because I, oh, make bar. Huh, that's interesting. So, but if I were to do bar here, so it's because it's the initial typing that decides what it is. So if we didn't say like this is, but we actually like return a new machine, but then the problem with like, then we would actually have to well, yeah, that could be interesting. Like, I guess the syntax would be a little bit weird. So like you would say transition machine equals machine dot matches foo, for example. Oh, can't I do that? Oh, I thought I could do variables inside. Do you have to like, oh, I thought that were, ifs could like, yeah, they can, but you can't actually define the variable there. Okay, but then matches, oh, and then that's any, because because it can't infer, because I can't define. Why can't I define a variable there? That's, yeah. So now we're not able to infer. What I was thinking, like as a change to the API, we could do like, do the transitions like this. So you would kind of assign it to a new machine, and then you could use that machine continue when you continue on. But then you would have to like name them and stuff. It wouldn't be ideal for sure. But yeah, let me see. So you could do like blah. Now this would be a foo machine, and then you could do like blip bar, and then this would be a bar machine. I guess you could do. Okay, I'm going into API exploration here because we probably have to change the API. The question is, how do we change it? So you could do like transition machine equals machine dot transition bar. Oh yeah, let's just use matches for now. Or let me just add transition. Oh, come on. Transition blah blah blah. Oh, what's happening? What an annoying shortcut. Transition bar, and then you would but then you would have to check like if transition machine, and then you would kind of continue. So you would kind of, when you try to transition the machine, you actually get back. But again, this is like only needed for TypeScript. It's not needed for JavaScript, which makes the API inconsistent. And it's kind of, yeah, I don't like it. Don't like it. I wish there was some other way to do this. God damn it, did my camera freeze now? No, it shouldn't. No, it's okay. Okay, I should really stop now. Do I have a meeting? I think I have a meeting. Yeah. Can I see my meet? Oh, it's at 11. Okay. Let's continue a little bit more. Is there some other way to do this? I guess, like, I know it's not possible. I'm seeing that now, but I still, like, some part of my intuition is telling me that we need to continue doing this, even if it ends up changing the API. Because if that's the only way to do it, we kind of have to explore that anyways. But okay, this didn't work. Oh, so this returns a Boolean. Is that what it means? So it kind of checks, is this thing? Yeah, so that's kind of what it means. So basically when I do machine matches foo, we're saying, in typing form, we're saying, is this the machine matching foo? Yeah, for some reason I couldn't like read it like that. But yeah, since we now have matched it like this, or not matched it, typed it like this check fails because it isn't a machine of foo, it's a machine of bar. So okay, but can I, okay, so this is not actually changing the type, it's just checking if the type is that type. But is it possible for me to change that type, to say that this is now? Yeah, I guess that's kind of, I'm reading this the wrong way. Well, that's what you get when you don't know the documentation. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Or are you telling it that that's now the type? Well, I guess not, because if I do bar, then it's perfectly okay. Yeah. Okay. So basically, that doesn't help us to retype the machine. Actually. So maybe this whole yeah, I wonder why I'm able to. Okay. Oh yeah. So okay. So basically what we're doing there is that since the machine is now typed as this by default. Yeah, that's what I kind of wonder. Why is the machine typed like this? Why isn't it typed to foo? Okay, I guess that's just the typing. So I I guess that's just like the arguments are typed so that you kind of go to foo, and it helps you do that. But the return type here on the state machine isn't actually foo. It's just one of the states, which is why when we do overmind state, it can be foo or bar, because yeah, okay, now it's starting to make sense. So this state isn't actually typed to foo now, which is why it works the first time. And that's that's wrong, because it is foo, so it should be typed to foo. Okay, so that's number one. So that's why it was so confusing. And that is why this fails, because this isn't the thing we're matching against. Wow, this is interesting. So, but could that help us in any way? Could it help us that we never but to get the proper typing, we have to explicitly type it. God damn it. Which means that so if I were to do like this, oops. Like now I would get, oh yeah, foo. What does this do? Yeah, so now it stays at bar, because that's what I typed it as. Okay, but what if... Oh, god damn it. Okay, so it works the first time because it's not typed to the specific state we're setting it into. It just has all the types. And then we do the if, which then checks, does it extend this specific state, which we pass in here. And it does do that. Because you have all the different types, like all the different states. But then when you do that, then it returns that, okay, it extends this specific state. So now it is this specific state. And when we then try to do a new if, it no longer matches that thing. It's kind of like if it was possible to, what would be interesting is if it was possible to, like, instead of well, yeah, because that's the thing. There is no way for TypeScript to change the type of the thing. You can only check if it's that. Yeah. Huh. So I guess this is a problem with xstate as well then. You can't if twice. You can only if once. And it's not typed to its initial state. It's typed to all its states. And then you can kind of if once. You can't nest the ifs. But that doesn't make any sense. Like, of course you should be able to nest the ifs. Like in terms of actually writing logic. You want to, like, you don't want to do just one thing. You want to do multiple things. Crapty crap crap crap. But okay, but it makes sense that it's not possible. the problem wasn't really what we were doing here. The problem is that it wasn't actually returning the correct type there. It should actually, so on the state machine, when it creates, so you have the states. Yeah, and you see here, it just returns the state machine, but it should really be state. Oh yeah, I'm not using. Well, I guess I can do this. Does that help? Is this now? No, string or number. States. This is interesting. Because I am inferring that, and then I'm passing in. Yeah, because this is kind of interesting. Is it? Oh no, sorry. I'm explicitly passing in the states here. So I would have to have, yeah, and this is the issue with TypeScript. You can't have one generic and one like explicit. So yeah, basically what I would have to do is, okay, these are the states and this is the initial state. So it should really be state extends t states state. And then we will kind of say, yeah, how will we express this? I guess my typing is a bit off here because we're sending in the states twice. It should be like a specific state that we pass in here. Because from the outside, you don't really have any way to say like one of them. This is so fucked up. God damn it. God damn it. But anyways, that's the problem at least. But here we are explicitly typing it to a state. And then we are not able to transition it at all. Now it stays as a number. Now it's never, because you aren't allowed to say that it's something else. Which makes sense. It kind of makes sense. I'm just sad that TypeScript doesn't provide a way to express this. It would be really, really nice. Oh, I just have this feeling that I just can't let it go. There's something like it might not be exactly it should work. It might be like it should be a different API or something, but there's some, I have a feeling there's something we're not thinking of. Okay, I'll give it 10 more minutes. This was an hour session, but it's good. It's like educational. This became way clearer for me now how this actually works. But I wonder, what can you actually use this for? Is it when you have like, you haven't typed it specifically and then you can check, is it a specific type? I guess. So that is like how it works. That's what people use it for. But what do they do when they have to nest ifs? like it seems completely useless to me. Again, I haven't found any documentation on it, so maybe that's why it's not documented, because it's kind of useless. I don't know, probably not. Something I'm not understanding. Is it possible to express this in a, like this extends test? What happens now? Foo state bar. Why is this complaining? Type any is not the same. Type never. Oh yeah, because now the matches doesn't extend test. It extends like. So if I were to do, I'm just playing around with stuff now. Oh no, that's also. If I were to write this, then it should like work. Huh, interesting. I goddamn JavaScript. Oops. I want to find the documentation for that thing. I've never found it. Declare. No, this is this. TypeScript change target type. Yeah, it's like it's. I have no idea what to search for either. So, yeah, it's pretty hopeless. This is so the story of my life. This is how I sit when I build libraries. I keep bashing on TypeScript constantly to make it do what I want it to do. But that means I'm kind of curious about this X state type states. So here they can check this, but if they were to check again, if they were to do something here and then run another if, that wouldn't work. Warning convention. Yeah. I would be interested to test this. Let's test it. Just to verify that they actually have the same problem. Vanilla TypeScript. Let's add xstate. Let's import the thing. What's it complaining? Oh, it's just there we have name, and it can be success or it can be okay. So let's check now. So that works. If state matches Loading. Oh shit, what were we actually testing here? Yeah, now this becomes never. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so they don't support it either. And that's what I hate when I see these APIs. And some APIs I don't understand how they get away with it. How they, like, the APIs become so popular when they kind of has this annoying limitation. So for example, Recoil.js that has become super popular now, there's like a big limitation there, and that's that you have to import them directly into all your components, which is bad because then you can't test React. So you kind of have to expose them manually through a provider. So they haven't like thought about, okay, how do you expose them in the best possible way to your components? Like for a real practical application, which you're going to test. And they haven't done that. But still it becomes super popular. And I don't understand that. Like I've had ideas where that has been, like for example, the actor model thingy I was playing around with, that actually stopped because I couldn't find a good way to expose them to components. But yeah, maybe I'm like being just too of a like perfectionist in terms of having the least amount of work for the developer to kind of use it. But still, I think that's an important part of an API. Like this is important. You should be able to do this, but maybe they don't have. So they have transitions. Like, how do they do the transitions? Maybe that's where the thing is, because it doesn't make any sense to like if matches success and then if matches loading, because you couldn't have changed it. So maybe our problem is that we extended it to the transition. Like that's where the problem is. So how do you transition in XState? Oh, they don't have any. How do you transition in XState? Transitions. Yeah, so they actually do give you the next state, which was what I was hinting to. Okay, so they don't. Yeah, they have like an like a pure transition thing. They don't transition the machine itself. They kind of create the next state. That's better for TypeScript. But that would mean, but yeah. So maybe, but yeah, XState is immutable, where it makes sense that if you transition the machine, you get a new machine, or at least you get a new set of state. But it doesn't make sense for Overmind because Overmind is mutable. So when you transition the machine, it's just transitioned. You're not getting like a new machine. And then that kind of ruins the typing. But it does that's why it's mutable, because the code becomes more clearer. You don't have to like transition, it returns a variable, then you have to check that variable if it matches the state you want and stuff like that. Okay, but I guess I'll have to stop now. This is super annoying. This is so annoying that I can't find a good API for this. Yeah, but this is the way it, like now this is going to churn around in my head at least, and maybe something pops out. I'm starting to settle with this not actually working. As we saw in XState now as well, it doesn't work there. And it like in XState, it doesn't matter because they only have it on the matches API, where it makes sense that it becomes never because you have already checked it. But on a transition, you might want to transition multiple times. And then the typing becomes wrong. So the problem here is the transition API. It's not the matches API. So maybe that's kind of the conclusion here, is that we have to find a different way of transitioning. And it's so annoying because the API is only blocked by the typing. Yeah, it's insanely annoying. Because we can't type. God damn it. Because we have our state in the action and then we work with that state. But then we do a transition and we want that state to act differently, like, or be typed differently. And that's not possible. Only way to do that is to use a callback and then pass an argument. But that makes absolutely no sense for a JavaScript developer. It's only because of the typing we do that. Damn it. Yeah, I'm just going to sit there and think. So I guess I can just stop the stream. Thanks for all the feedback, Fabrice. Yeah, I think giving this some time in my head, I'm just going to conclude that this won't work and we have to find a different way to do the transition. Something that's straightforward, but it has to take care of the typing. But that means, like, I can't see how this cannot be straightforward. Like, you have to have different way of doing it in TypeScript and JavaScript, and that freaking annoys me. But that's the story of TypeScript and JavaScript. Creating APIs to support both, it's just hell. Like, I promised myself the next time, if I ever make another state management library based on like all the experiences this far, it's going to be a TypeScript API. I'm not going to care about JavaScript. It's going to be a TypeScript API. And then if people still want to use JavaScript with that, that's okay, but I'm not going to like document it that way. It's going to be documented in TypeScript. The API surface is going to be tailored for TypeScript, because it's just so freaking difficult to balance those two things. Yeah. Okay. This is supposed to, like, these sessions are supposed to be like fun. We're going to build an app. We're going to look into common things in state management. And now we're going like way off, doing completely different stuff. We're diving into the shitty parts of doing development. But again, I want this stream to kind of just be a journey of how I basically do programming, and this is such a good example of that. And I think everybody can relate to, not specifically this, but wanting to build something and then they got stuck in something that doesn't work the way you want it to work. Yeah. Cool. I guess that's it for now. I will think on this. We're not going to spend any more time on this in the session. We'll find a solution so that we can move on. But at least thanks for joining me. And I hope, looking at how my day started out, you'll feel better about your own day. Okay. Okay, thanks, David. Thanks for for saying it's interesting, because it is really interesting in terms of like if you do TypeScript and this stuff, and it's, yeah, trying to understand how things work. Cool. Bye for now. Talk to you tomorrow.